I'm Kristen and I am participating in the Catalyst Fund 6 grant proposal call for projects. The best way to empower developers to engage with the Cardano community is to make it easy to learn from the work of others. The same way with HTML, you can inspect elements on websites and learn how they're constructed. I'm building a desktop application that makes it easy to visually explore smart contracts and create your own designs on the Cardano network. If you'd like to know more about the scope of my project, check out my proposal on the IOHK IdeaScale site for Catalyst Fund 6. My project is called Visual Blockchain Designer and Explorer under Developer Ecosystems. Over the weekend, the Cardano TestNet saw the first public smart contract go live. It was awesome to see the level of community participation in helping test the protocol. It also exposed a lot of confusion about how smart contracts handle the flow of funds through the Cardano UTXO model. Here's where my project comes into play. I want to emphasize this is a very early prototype of the project that I'm working on. It will eventually be a desktop application for both macOS and Windows, but since I'm building this in Flutter, I'm able to deploy my, again, very early prototype example to the web so that the community can visually explore the transactions that happened on the Cardano TestNet over the weekend. So let's get started. You can reach the site at manzano.studio, which if you refer to the top of my screen for spelling reference right here. Please be patient while the site loads, as this is, again, a prototype desk application that's being shoehorned into a website for fun. I've preloaded a transaction hash into the program. So if you hit the try it out button, it will load a MinSwap transaction graph onto the page. So what do all these symbols mean? There's a lot of information on this page, so let's go over each symbol slowly. The dark gray rectangle in the middle represents the transaction that we just called from the testnet. The icon sitting in the rectangle is the icon for MinSwap, so we know that this is a transaction that is part of the MinSwap protocol. Underneath, there's another MinSwap icon with a label saying deposit liquidity. Other labels might say swap of tokens or a withdrawal. This information has to be derived from the UTXO data, so these labels simplify the understanding of what's happening at each step. Off to the left, the lighter links and rectangles represent parent transactions upstream that led to the current UTXOs used in the centered transaction. The MinSwap icon shows us which transaction in history is part of the protocol. Clicking on the center transaction brings up a label under the parent transactions, shown in hours, minutes, and seconds, and represents the time delta between the current transaction and the parent transactions. So let's talk about UTXOs. The circles on either side of the rectangle represent different UTXOs. Think of UTXOs as bags of coins, and these bags can have ADA in them, and they can also have a quantity of other tokens as well. We can see at a glance that each UTXO contains a quantity of ADA, and that several UTXOs also contain a number of other unique tokens. Clicking on one of the UTXOs will bring up the property panel on the right. This transaction label represents the parent transaction that the UTXO came from. At the bottom is a more detailed list of which tokens are in the UTXO along with their quantities. We can see in this particular one that there is a one of and then a token code. In the Cardano smart contract model, NFTs are used as a sort of passport, identifying the UTXO that's part of the smart contract along with specific permissions attached to it. So this one of right here is the identifying NFT. As fascinating as all this information is, the real excitement comes as we start moving back into the history of the transactions. Let's follow this MinSwap transaction, but you can follow either if you want. The try it out button will bring you right back to here if you want to start over. And so here again, I want to emphasize that this is a prototype desk application shoehorned into a website for community exploration. But on this new graph, we can see the numbers under the UTXO have changed and the label under the center transaction has changed. So now instead of a deposit, this is a swap of Sunday for sold tokens. We can also see that the last MinSwap transaction happened about 9 minutes ago. And if we click on this UTXO, between those two transactions, we find our passport NFT in that list of tokens. We can keep clicking through these parent transactions, watching the labels change as swaps and deposits are made. And we're not going to do this right now, but if you can follow the MinSwap icon all the way back about 20 transactions or so to where the NFT first gets minted and the protocol gets started. This is a work in progress. As it gets built out, these movements will be saved so you can walk back and forth along the network. There will also be icons representing the various tokens stored in each UTXO, and there will be an option to select an NFT and follow it all the way back to its initial minting transaction. So I invite everyone to play around with the program with the caveat that, again, this is a work in progress, and it is currently using a free and limited API through BlockFrost, so there's also a chance of running out of API calls. If you enjoyed this demo and are interested in seeing this project get funding, please head over to IOHK's Idea Scale page and check out my Project Catalyst Fund 6 proposal. And you can get there directly through this link right here. Votes towards my project increase my chance of getting funding and will help move this project forward.